Hey everyone, Artfinity here, and I'm back with another drawing video. Now this, like most, involves me not having any idea what the heck I'm about to say for the commentary, but since we have absolutely no idea, it's time to go back to the drawing board. So, over here, let's see, speed paint, comprised of two words, speed and paint. We're just going to go ahead and break these two up for a second. What does speed mean? What is the essence of fast? It means we got to go really fast. So do we have speed? And then over here we have paint, but these two combined. So speed plus paint, this over here, this, what does that mean? It's speed paint. All right, so speed paint. Now that we have this is usually speed painting. It has one, two, or both factors here, which is usually music or commentary. Now, there's two ways we could go on the route for the music. We could go down the getting sued route or the getting demonetized route, or we could take the third route, which is not use music, but that'll still lead us back to the demonetized route. So this part is kind of an outlier. We won't worry about that one. We'll just worry about the commentary. What the heck do we talk about? Let's see. Like I do in most of my commentaries, about 1% of that is actually dedicated to talking about the art, and then the other 99% is usually about random crap. Yeah, so if we see this, 99% is an A. So what does an A and a speed paint have in common? So speed paint and the letter A both have the letter A in common. So they both have an A. So A is what we're looking for. Now what does A stand for? It could be a grade. It could be a shortcut for other words. We'll just play a quick game of hangman here. It's air. It's air. So what do they have in common? Air. Both of them have air. Speed paints with commentary are usually just the bunch of hot air. Now what is in the air? Birds. What do birds have? Wings. Now, what do wings have to do with commentary? This here for the commentary with birds and wings is a hint. Now that we have those two together, birds and wings, we're just going to go over here. So, birds with wings. That narrows it down to every kind of bird. But what we're really saying here is what we need to do. What kind of commentary do we need to do? So, commentary and wings. Now, what this is telling us to do, and the only logical explanation with commentary and wings, is to... Oh. Alright, if you didn't click away from the video after that 2-minute rant about nothing, then kudos to you. You're the real OG. You're the real MVPs. Yeah, there is a speed paint involved, but it is funny because, like, the more you do speed paints, the harder it gets, in my opinion, because it's like, I mean, I don't really ever talk about the drawing, and it's when you don't talk about that, then what do you talk about? It's like, I don't know. There is actually an interesting story as to how I went about this drawing, and it all starts with the weird winding path of YouTube recommendations. So the first video that started off this chain was actually The Psychology of Azula. It's a video by Hello Future Me, which is an in-depth video about why this is the most cray-tastic 14-year-old that can shoot lightning that you'll ever meet. It's actually really interesting. I'll link it if I remember, but I clicked on that video, watched the whole thing, and was like, wow, Azula's crazy. That's something that I learned that I did not know before. Anyway, I saw that video, and then the plethora of YouTube recommendations started, and I'm like, oh god, here we go. So one of the videos that it recommended was actually from one of my YouTube art buddies, Renee. Hello, Renee. How are you? I actually saw that she made a speed paint from a while ago about Azula, and I was like, oh, that looks cool. So I went and I watched the video, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna draw Azula. It seems like fun. So the prompt officially went on the fan art board that I have. I just have a whiteboard where I keep a list of stuff that I want to draw because my memory is Horrible is a generous statement, but it's bad. So I put it on the board, and then just looking through it, the drawing that would seem like the funnest one to work on was actually Azula. So I was like, okay, why not? So here we are. I made the drawing, and I still think it's funny that the drawing is the easy part and the speed paint is the hard part. Because when it's the drawing, you're like, oh yeah, I could draw and pick a scene and work on it, and if it doesn't look right, then it's like 99% of the other drawings I've made in my life, and it's fine. But as soon as you need to explain the commentary and what you're doing and stuff about the drawing, I find that that's the hard part, especially when the longer you do YouTube, the harder it actually gets to do commentary. And I don't know if I'm the only one who gets that, but that's the way it seems. It's just really, it gets challenging talking about the drawing. I'm like, okay. But anyway, other than that, the actual scene in particular that I decided to go with, which if you guys recognized it, then you're cool, is a scene from season 2 where she's, I guess spoilers, spoiler alert, but if you haven't seen the show by now, then I'm pretty sure several people have harped on you about it. I won't be one of those people because I was one of them. They're like, you haven't seen Avatar? I'm like the blue people? No, not the blue people. The other one, the good one with the airbender boy. And I'm like, oh yeah, that one. Is that still a thing? So yeah, eventually I did sit down. I did get to watching it, and I binged it in like 2 days. It's a really good show. So I'll recommend it. But if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, I guess. But if you have seen it, which you probably have, and I just went on a long-winded rant for nothing because you have seen it. Yeah, this is actually a scene from season 2 when Azula is fighting Zuko and Aang in the old abandoned town place that gets burned to the ground because Azula's like, hey, I'm gonna spam that heavy attack button, and they're like, oh, that's not good. I didn't bring any senzu beans. I do actually think that Azula is a really cool character. She does have an interesting design, and like her intentions, like every other character in the show, are actually really well fleshed out. And it's interesting when you think about the dynamic of the show, because at the time Nickelodeon was just like, yeah, we just need an action show about, adventures and whatnot for a cartoon, whatever. And then the writers are like, bruh, what if we had compelling character narration and epic fights? And they're like, I don't follow. Nani, explain. So they're like, let's make a show that's really good and all the characters are likable and the reasons are credible and the animation is top tier. And they're like, I like that idea. And then they did it. And then everybody liked that idea, and it was great. So it's a really good show. The story is just as good as the art, which is really cool. And yeah, if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it. I'm not gonna harp on you if you haven't, but you should. Yeah, and the drawing was actually really fun to work on. The thing about painterly style is it's still semi-stressful, but it's getting easier. My thought process on this is, make 100 of these, and then it won't be so bad. And considering this is only like the first drawing of this year, I'm like, all right, this one is 1. This one's the baseline for the new year. Let's see if we can get better by the end of the year. And it's still interesting in the painterly style because I need to remind myself the drawing looks creepy until it's finished, but you do have to work on the face closer to last. Otherwise, you'll just get, you'll spend all the time on the face and you won't get anything else done. It's like, crap. But yeah, the drawing was really fun to work on. I decided to add a couple of embellishments of my own because I don't know if you guys ever do this with fan art. It's fun to draw the character, but it is fun to add your own little spin on it. I didn't do anything too crazy, but I figured, Azula is technically a princess. She definitely wouldn't be a Disney princess just because she'd like murder all of them, I think. And take their kingdoms and subject them to the Fire Nation. But I figured, it'd be fun if, we decided to add some embellishment to her clothing. So I actually designed like a little Fire Lord, like her little hairpin thing that looks like the Fire Lord symbol. I decided to make that into an actual pattern, and that pattern I just slapped onto the like reddest part of her dress fighting thingy, and I'm like, that looks cool. I like that. So it's not technically canon, but I'm like, that's my own creative flair on the project, and I did think that was a lot of fun to do. But yeah, and in regards to that, and just a small update for the new year, I'm actually going to get this as a print. So I'll let you guys know when that's out. I'll probably let you guys know on Instagram or other social media crap if you need to know. But as soon as this gets in, then I'm probably going to start selling that as a print. And I also got a couple of other ones coming in as well. So I'm actually going to be opening up the print store. So if you want to get this good quality art, this decent quality art, I'm actually printing them on 12 by 18 kind of poster things. So, you know, those will be out soon, and that'll be a lot of fun. But in the meantime, if you actually want to get the high full resolution drawing of this, then I do have that on Patreon as well. So I'll just link that there, and you know, you can go check it out if you want. But I did find that this drawing does actually make a really cool phone wallpaper. It's currently my phone wallpaper, and it's kind of spooky. Every time you open your phone, you're like, oh, why is this angry person trying to kill me? But yeah, that's pretty much the update on what I've been doing and where I've been. I guess in regards to a question I have for you guys is, who's your favorite character in Avatar? And how'd you hear about the show? Mine is Uncle Iroh. The dude is the most coolest. But yep, that's pretty much what I got. So I will see you guys later. Bye!